Hey guys, and welcome back to Essence of Alice. Thanks so much for coming back and checking out our next video. This video we are going to talk about this lovely little green powder sent to me by my friends at Sun Potion. It is called Ashitaba, and it is something that I'm obsessed with lately. So I'm going to show you two recipes on how to use this powder. Ashitaba, so here, let me get my little cheat sheet here. So Ashitaba is a great source of vitamin B. It's great for skin and digestion. It's got healing powers. It's called a Shen tonic, which in the Japanese culture means it's an effective spiritual, heart, and nervous system powder. And it also tastes a bit like matcha. It smells a bit like matcha. It's like, yeah, it's just like a lighter smelling matcha. It has a similar color except just a little bit more light green. I'll show you in the recipes. But this is one of my new absolute favorite things. So my inspiration for these recipes was kind of hot and cold. It's winter here in Chicago, so I wanted to do something light, refreshing, and crisp, and then something a little bit more cozy and warm and delicious. So we're gonna start with a salad dressing using this lovely powder, Creamy Vegan Ashitaba Ranch, and then we are gonna go to a matcha Ashitaba latte, which is delicious and a great way to start your morning. All right, so we're gonna start putting all of our ingredients inside of a deep cup or a deep bowl, which we will use with our immersion blender. Here we have some safflower oil. I have about 4 tablespoons in this little jar, just emptying that into the cup. And then we will add about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is great for hydration and vitamin C, also aids in digestion. Then we add 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I always add Dijon mustard to any type of vinaigrette. I'm not really sure. It's just how my mom taught me when I was a little kid and have continued doing that ever since. And then 2 tablespoons, if you like it a little bit sweeter, of agave. I think this is 1 tablespoon, but I like my dressings a little bit more tart. And then 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds. These, when blended up, give it this dressing that like creamy ranch taste. And then about a teaspoon of salt. And then the hero of the show, Ashitaba. We'll put a teaspoon of Ashitaba into this dressing. It's going to give it a really beautiful light green color. To me, you can't taste it in the dressing, but it has all those benefits I spoke about at the beginning of this video, and it's just a great addition because it really doesn't taste like anything. And then we will go ahead, just clean up our area a little bit and grab our immersion blender. So the immersion blender is my favorite way of making any type of dressing because it emulsifies everything that you put in your cup or bowl into this really creamy, thick, whipped up dressing. Then we're gonna build our salad. I started with a whole head of romaine lettuce and just kind of chopping that up. It's all been washed and everything. So chopping that up, we're gonna put that into our salad bowl. If you see off to the right, I'm putting all of my discards to the right because at my house we compost. Our compost bucket is way too big to fit in this screen or even on our countertop. So I just put it off to the side and then eventually empty that into our compost. Again, cleaning our workstation and then cutting up half of a cucumber. I like cucumber slices to be a little bigger. If you like to half your cucumber and then slice it up, that's totally up to you. Also, you can really put this dressing on anything. This is just what we had in our refrigerator at the time, was a French cucumber and some radishes, so that's what I put in the salad. And then this is a Japanese mandolin, which I like a little bit better than a French mandolin because they're easier to use in my opinion. So we're just cutting off the tops and bottoms of our radishes. And then you use the little knobs on the side to create the thickness of your radish. I wanted these to be relatively thin, but not paper thin. And very slowly just run those radishes along the blade. Be extremely careful with this mandolin. It is so sharp. So I always stop about 1/4 inch away from the end of the radish. And then I just give those little butts of the radishes to my dog because honestly, it's not worth cutting your finger. So once everything is in the bowl, pour the dressing over the top of the salad, and then just get to mixing. Make sure everything is mixed nice and thoroughly. See, it's this really beautiful green consistency, which I kind of like because it blends in with the lettuce once it's all mixed, so it doesn't look like this really heavy creamy dressing, which it's not a heavy creamy dressing, but it does have a creamy taste and consistency, but it's really, really light and refreshing. And that safflower oil, like I said, doesn't wilt the lettuce, so everything stays really nice and crunchy. And when it comes to a crunchy, nice light salad, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Then I saved a few radishes just for a little bit of pizzazz at the end. I always crack pepper over my salads when I'm done, rather than putting cracked pepper in the dressing. And then there you have it. That is our creamy vegan Ashitaba ranch. I usually make salads for two because there are two of us in our house. So this was a perfect serving size for two people with a teeny bit extra left over. I wanted our second recipe to be a little bit more cozy, so I decided to make an Ashitaba Matcha Latte, which is one of my favorite ways to wake up in the morning. Matcha is high in antioxidants, boosts metabolism, it's a natural detoxifier, and it boosts memory and concentration, so why not add all of those benefits to the benefits of Ashitaba? So what we're doing here is taking 1 tablespoon of each matcha and Ashitaba in a little tea diffuser that I just sift all of the powders through, so it's a nice fine powder when we get to the bottom of it. Then I put about 4 tablespoons of hot water into a wood bowl and take my matcha whisk and just whisk in the shape of a W until you get this nice frothy consistency. You do this little bits of water at a time. I just did the first initial 4 tablespoons, but then I added another 4 tablespoons afterwards, just for sake of time. And then we're taking homemade nut milk. I believe this is the cashew milk, but honestly, I couldn't tell you. And we put about 1/3 cup of milk into our little metal steamer cup and turned on our espresso steamer machine and just steamed away. I always make sure to touch the side of the steamer cup just to make sure that the milk is getting nice and warm and hot. The worst thing ever is a cold latte. Then pouring the milk into our beautiful mugs from Mexico City, which in my opinion are some of my favorite things I own. Making sure you get all the frothy goodness in there. Then grabbing our matcha and Ashitaba foam mixture, just making sure that's one more little whisk and then dumping that over the top. I'm not a latte artist, but going for more of an abstract theme here. And there you have it, a matcha Ashitaba latte. Alright, well, there you have it. I'm going to go enjoy my Ashitaba Matcha Latte and then head off to Pilates. Thank you guys so much for checking back in. Make sure and click that subscribe button down below if you like this video and if you want to see more videos like this. Sun Potion also sent me a reishi powder, which I will be doing some recipes with here in the future, so make sure to come back and check that out. Thank you, you guys, and I will talk to you next time.